I want to convince you to stop trying to invest so much in players in your groups who just don't seem to get it. But I can't do that by just giving you anecdotes or some stories. Those shouldn't really be all that convincing because you could go somewhere else and get a different story. So, this is what you should actually do. You should start taking notes on the names of people when you give them feedback. Give them short, concise, actionable feedback. In my opinion, the best types of feedback, the kind that have the most likelihood of working, are ones where you tell them what you want to see and you give them a tool that will help them learn. So that would be maybe you have a warrior DPS and they don't do great damage and they're wondering about the gear and their rotations and what to do on the bosses, and you could be like, this is the place where our strats are. Learn the bosses that way. This is the sim. This is a guide for the sim. You should be able to answer all of your gearing questions and all of your rotation questions using the sim. And you should be able to answer all your boss specific questions using the rage strats. Go look at that, and your DPS should improve. And then you take little notes to yourself that I talked to Billy. Told Billy, sim plus strat guide. His DPS, this in last raid. And then do that for all the people that you seem to be spending your time on trying to help get better. And what you're going to notice is that usually people just don't want to get better. Or at least that's what I think the data will show you, because what you're going to find is that most people they enjoy talking. And they also don't enjoy being obvious doofuses. So when you confront them and you ask them to do a little more damage, they will ask you for some advice, because a lot of people feel really good when they get asked advice. And people, they learn this. I'm not saying that these people are trying to deceive you, but they've learned that if they ask people for advice, it makes that person feel special. And so they're accidentally trying to gain some social status with you by asking you questions that really they ought to be able to answer on their own if they gave a single fuck about actually doing their job right in raid. And if you do this for, I don't know, 3 months, I bet what you'll see is, in general, all the time you put into people who are at the bottom of the performance of your group is wasted. These people will constantly have new, unique questions to ask you that you can answer and that may make you in the moment feel very smart, and it might make it feel like you're getting work done. And so you may enjoy these interactions, even though you might tell yourself, I wish these people would just do more damage. But you deeply enjoy interacting with the fucking stupid at the expense of your guild and your raid group. So take some notes and see for yourself. And don't take my word for it. And at some point in the future, you'll have your own opinion on how it works out when you try to mentor people who are not new to the game and yet play like a new player. And no, I'm not saying that you shouldn't invest in new players. New players, it could make sense. They have a track record of not playing the fucking game. And so their questions might be really sensible. Perhaps a new player wouldn't instantly realize there are simulators, or that there are guides, or that guides are mostly made with the purpose of growing a content creator's influence. I mean, just like this one, I woke up this morning, I was like, I need to fucking make something for you guys. And I was like, I know something that's a little interesting. New players aren't going to realize these things. And you should try to help them out because it'll be good for you. Not because it's nice, but because people who are brand new to the game, if you show them all the greatest ways to be great themselves and you give them an environment that's amazing, well, isn't that likely going to make them stick around? Wouldn't it make sense that they could improve? But the old dogs in your group who will tell you about their glory days playing while never getting anything done in Raid, why would they change? Do you think they were different for those in the past? If they actually used to be good and now they're not willing to be good for you, wouldn't that just make you even more upset? So yeah, figure it out for yourself. Write some shit down. Use some simple math. And don't take anyone's word for it. Unless, I mean, if you want to take my word for it, I'm right, so go ahead. But you don't have to. Figure it out.